Hey there, let's kick things off by talking about Facebook versus Instagram, a question that's on so many advertisers' minds when it comes to the wedding industry. And there's actually some misconceptions that are going around the wedding industry in terms of which platform is better for advertising on. I'm so excited to share with you some data-based insight into this. So before we go into that data-based insight, I wanted to share a little bit of context so we're on the same page. When we're talking about the Facebook ads platform, you're actually using that one singular ad platform to place ads on the Facebook social media network as well as the Instagram social media network. Because Facebook owns Instagram, you're able to use that one platform to create campaigns that show up on either or both of those platforms to people who are using them. So a little bit of context there for you. So there's a really interesting thing that happens when we are talking to new clients or consulting with clients within the wedding industry. And typically, our wedding industry clients come to the consultation and say, you know what, our brides, they're on Instagram, they're not on Facebook anymore. They're young, they're hip, they're in their early 20s or mid 20s to mid 30s, and Facebook just isn't the place for them anymore. They're not on it, and they're on Instagram. We want to hit Instagram really, really hard. Well, I actually like Instagram myself better than Facebook, but the truth is we actually have some data-based insight to show you that that may not be the truth about where you will get the most leads at the lowest cost. And here's what I want to share with you. This is a real client's campaign. It is recent data for a high-end venue, and this venue is advertising on both Facebook and Instagram social media platforms, and you can see the results. The conversion result we're measuring is we have an ad campaign and we're looking for people to fill out a form on the website to inquire about the venue's pricing. The audience of people we're targeting are engaged women in their early to mid 20s to their mid 30s. And we can see from the data that 44 out of the 45 leads during this month actually came from brides who were clicking on a Facebook ad and then converted to inquire and fill out the form on the landing page. And only one out of those 45 conversions, leads that were generated, actually came from Instagram. You can take it a step further and you can see in that column that says cost per form submit that the Facebook ads, the ads that were shown in the Facebook platform, the news feed, Facebook stories, Facebook on desktop, cost less than the conversions and the leads that came from Instagram. This is fascinating information because even though those brides may prefer to be on Instagram as a social media platform, they're actually taking action from clicking on Facebook ads. The advantage that the Facebook social media platform has is this, is that Facebook has groups, it has marketplace, it has all sorts of other detailed functionality that is beneficial to people, and it's not the same as Instagram, right? It's not as fun and happy and visual as Instagram, but the truth is that people are brides and grooms, couples who are engaged, are on Facebook, and they're actually converting there at a lower cost more often. And this isn't just the case with this one particular venue. This is the case with a lot of our clients across the country, whether it be wedding venues, bridal stores, bridal shows, tuxedo rentals, and things like that. This is actually more common, and you'd be surprised by that. So some objective data for you on Facebook versus Instagram ads. A couple more things that are good to know. When you're creating ads for Facebook versus Instagram, they're not all the same. There's actually 17 different placements where an ad can show up on Facebook and Instagram, and it'll be really important in the campaign. And something we're going to talk about later on in this course actually is how to craft your ads for each of the different platforms, because you can't just create one ad and then throw it out there everywhere and expect it to work. Because those social media platforms are so different, it's important to shape your ads accordingly. And also, we've done some data testing to see and found out that when your wedding business is seen on both platforms, Facebook and Instagram, that it actually elevates your brand awareness and you will generate more leads at a lower cost simply by being present in both places. Even if you know that your brides or your engaged couples prefer Instagram for their social networking, being seen on both is powerful and it gets you more leads at a lower cost. So here's the key takeaway. Facebook and Instagram are absolutely not the same. However, both platforms are viable sources of low-cost leads. And the action step I want you to take from this segment is when you're creating your campaign plan, I want you to be sure to include space for both Facebook ads and Instagram ads in that campaign plan. Because the data tells us the story that yes, Facebook and Instagram are very different, but what we've learned and come to realize is even though they're very different, the results from one or the other can be drastically different and can be measured. So it's important if you're starting out to include both Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So there's one really, really, really important thing that we have to share and talk about before we dive into the nitty gritty and the good stuff about creating a Facebook ad or Instagram ad campaign, and that is boosting your posts. And never, ever, ever boosting your posts. I want to share with you why not, because it's really important that you know about what it means to boost a post versus create a full-on ads campaign. So if you haven't ever done it, the boost post button lives at the bottom right of a Facebook post from your business page, or on Instagram, there's actually a promote button where you can click this button and spend $15 or $20 or $10 and throw the money at Facebook and Instagram and say, okay, show it to as many people as possible. But the truth is that these two options are the devil. And when you're using these two options, there are some really important reasons, there are really important things that are happening that you may not realize. So why not? Why not boost or promote a post? It's easy. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It reaches a lot of people. Well, the truth is that when you're choosing this option, instead of creating a full ads campaign with the Facebook ads platform, you're only accessing a fraction of the targeting options that are available to you. It's a little bit deceptive because you click that boost button, or that promote button, and you get to choose some different things. But the full Facebook ads platform has thousands and thousands of demographic targeting options available and audience options available that you're missing out on when you're boosting that post. And when you're boosting a post, you're not measuring results. With the full Facebook ads platform, you can actually measure how many leads you get from the ad, something we're going to talk about later in this course. But when you simply boost a post and throw some money at Facebook, you're not measuring the results. You don't actually really know what you're getting from the money that you spend. And anytime you spend money in advertising, you should know what you're getting from those advertising dollars. You're also not able to set up A/B testing when you're boosting a post. With the full Facebook ads platform, when you create a real campaign inside Facebook ads, you can create two ads. Maybe one's a little bit different than the other. Maybe one has a different image than the other. Maybe one has different copy than the other one. And you can figure out which version of your ad got the most results. We're going to get into more of that later. But the truth is when you're boosting a post or promoting a post, you're not A/B testing. And the reality is that you're not getting what you should be from your advertising dollars. Again, anytime you're spending advertising dollars, you should be understanding, you should be knowing and be able to see what results you're getting. You should be testing and learning from the data from those advertising dollars. And you should be accessing the full suite of demographic options and targeting options available to you through the Facebook ads platform. So the key takeaway is this: never ever boost or promote your posts. And the action step I want you to take is to set aside time to plan out and set up a full ad campaign instead of using that boost post button. So now that we've got some of those important bits and pieces out of the way, the first important component that you want to consider when creating an effective Facebook or Instagram ads campaign is setting up your audience. And let's dive in and talk about what an audience is. By definition, this is a group of people that you say to the Facebook ads platform that you want to reach with your ad campaigns. They can come in all shapes and sizes, and here's some examples within the wedding industry that are important for you to consider setting up and running ads to. So there is one type of audience that Facebook defines as saved audiences. And a saved audience is when you use all the demographic information that Facebook has on people who use the Facebook social media platform or the Instagram social media platform, such as age and gender, and most importantly in the wedding industry, relationship status. So you may have a saved group, a saved audience of people who are engaged, and you may want to run your ads toward to show to people who are engaged within your city, city or your geographic region or your area. Or maybe you want to get a little bit more specific and you want to target just newly engaged women. That's an option within the Facebook ads platform too, to create as an audience. You can also, if this is more relevant for your product or service within the wedding industry, target people who have been engaged for more than a year. Maybe within that first year, they've chosen their venue, she's chosen her dress, and so you and there's other products and services that come along after those big decisions have been made. So you can choose a segment and target your audience by people who have been engaged for more than 1 year. There's no right or wrong reason, and it's different by every different business. But just so you know, these are some options for creating a saved audience based on Facebook's demographic data. But let's take it a step further, because there's some amazing things you can do in creating custom audiences. And custom audiences have a little bit more detail around tracking. So for example, you may be tracking people who visit your website, and maybe people who visited your website but didn't book their appointment or book their tour of your venue. Maybe you want to track those past website visitors and put them into an audience in Facebook and say, hey, Facebook, I want to show a follow-up ad to people who have been to our website but haven't yet booked their appointment, booked their tour, we're taking the action we want them to take. Or maybe you have customer data lists. This may be gotten from attending a bridal show, and you get the list of attendees, and you can send an ad to, or show an ad specifically on Facebook or Instagram to people on that list of customer data that includes things like email, phone number, name, things like that. Or maybe you have a list of existing clients and you want to upsell to those existing clients. One great example could be that you have a list of brides who have purchased a gown at your store in the past year, and you want to upsell them or reach them to communicate about offers you have for bridesmaids dresses or tuxedos for the groom or suit rentals for the groom. You can implement that list of existing clients and create an audience and tell Facebook that you want to reach that list of existing clients with a specific ad and a specific message. Extremely powerful because it's highly targeted, highly relevant, and useful in people who already know about your business, which is really incredible. So here's the key takeaway when it comes to audiences, is that they're the foundational component of how you're going to organize your campaigns and create your ads. So you're not going to obviously create an ad that you're not going to create one ad that's the same for people who don't know about your business, say the newly engaged women, and you're not going to run that same ad to your existing list of clients in your custom audiences, right? So separating out your campaigns and organizing your ads by audience is the first most important thing to know about creating an effective Facebook and Instagram ad campaign. And your action step for this segment is to begin by setting up each of your audiences inside your Facebook ads account. Go ahead and log into your Facebook ads account and create those audiences now so that you can use them to build your campaigns going forward. Getting started in creating a campaign with Facebook ads is getting into the weeds a little bit here, and choosing the right campaign settings is really, really important for businesses in the wedding industry because there's a lot of different options. I'm going to share them with you and go through which settings are most appropriate for businesses in the wedding industry and generating leads from your ad campaigns. So the first step in creating a campaign within the Facebook ads is choosing your campaign type. And there's actually a whole bunch of different options that you get to on this first screen when you're setting your campaign up. And what all these different options actually correlate with are basically different algorithms that Facebook uses to try to reach people who are most likely to take the action, that the campaign type correlates with. And fortunately for businesses in the wedding industry, there's a whole bunch of them that you don't even need to worry about. And I'm actually going to put a red X through those right here. But you can see there's 3 that remain that are viable options of campaign types for businesses in the wedding industry when it comes to generating leads. 2 of them, one of them is lead generation, the other is conversions. And I'm actually not going to discuss them because they're more advanced campaign types that require a little bit more experience with the Facebook ads platform. And we can go over those in different courses. But the one campaign type that is kind of ground zero and most important for wedding industry businesses to take advantage of in terms of lead generation is traffic. And what this is, when you choose a traffic campaign type, you're saying to Facebook, hey, Facebook, I want you to focus on getting the most people to click on my ads and visit my website at the lowest cost. And the reason being is that in the wedding industry, we have a lot of work to do to convince folks to sign up for an appointment or fill out a form on our website or call our business or book a tour of our venue. And our website is the place where that work needs to be done. For example, if you're a bridal store and you want to get brides to visit your website and look at all the different designers of the gowns that you carry and learn about the appointment experience, or if you're a wedding venue, you want people to click on your ad and go to your website and look at all the beautiful photos of your venue, maybe look at the different pricing and package options. You get the idea. Your website is the place where most of the work needs to be done to convince someone to become a lead. And for that reason, the campaign type of traffic here in Facebook ads is the one to choose to get the most people to go to your website at the lowest cost. So moving on, a couple other options that exist with your campaign creation are testing and budget. Now, I am all about A/B testing. It is so important. But I actually like to do it in a more manual way instead of letting Facebook set it up. We can set the A/B testing up on ourselves. Conversation for a different course. However, just know it's important when creating your campaign to keep that slider in the off position. You'll do testing in a different way. We'll talk about that later. But when it comes to your budget, we want to move campaign budget optimization, move that slider to on. And what that does is it allows you to create multiple groups of ads inside your campaign and use that campaign budget appropriately to reach the right people in those different groups of ads at the right time to get the most people to click over to your website. An example of this might be maybe you have a group of ad targeting newly engaged women, and maybe you have an ad group targeting all engaged people, both men and women, and you want to do a little test. Well, you can use this campaign budget optimization to show the ads evenly, or maybe a little bit more to those newly engaged women if there's more action happening there. This budget optimization allows Facebook to make the decision to get the most traffic results for you at the lowest cost. So that's a really good thing. And there's a little bit here that says under choosing your daily budget, you can choose whatever amount you want. It could be $1, could be $20, could be $200. Actually, $20 a day is a really good place to start if you've never done an ad campaign, because that gives you enough volume to see some activity happening really quickly. There's a little bit here that says actual amount spent daily may vary. And what this means is that when Facebook sees an opportunity to get more traffic at a really low cost, maybe on a Monday, it may spend more, and maybe it'll pull your budget back and spend a little bit less than that $20 on Tuesday or some other arrangement like that. It's actually a really good thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. And you actually can't turn that off, so it's not even an option for you to make a decision on that, but just so you know what that means. So here is the key takeaway when it comes to campaign settings. Not all campaign settings are relevant for lead generation within the wedding industry, but the ones that I've showed you here are, and you can take action on those. And your action step is to begin and get started on creating your campaign with these settings. And a little hint is that you actually don't have to finish creating your campaign. You can start and choose these settings now, and you can actually save that campaign as a draft. So as you go through and learn more in this course about Facebook ads and creating an ad campaign, you can go back to that draft and continue creating it as you work along. When you get to the step in your campaign creation journey for creating the ads themselves and designing them, there's some tried and true tactics that work really well for businesses in the wedding industry and that can be used to create an effective ad on the Facebook platform. So let's dive in and take a look. Before we look at the ads themselves, I want to talk about placements. This is a word that you'll see inside the Facebook ads platform, and you'll need to know, and understanding what they are is really important. Basically, placements is the word that's used to define all the different places that ads show up to users on Facebook. It might depend on the device they're using. They could be on a mobile device or on a desktop, or it may depend on the location of they're at in the platform. For example, there are stories ads, there are newsfeed ads, there's ads that show up on the right-hand side when people are on a desktop, there's ads that show up in Facebook Marketplace. There's all sorts of different placements where these ads are shown, and that's important to know this because creating an ad for each of these different placements is key. They also, in considering these different placements and devices and locations in the platform. The ads vary by size, shape, the image specifications, and also by functionality. So let's take a look at some of the most important placements that you should pay attention to when creating your ad. Even though there's a bunch, the two most important placements are actually newsfeed placements and stories placements. So let's take a look at what an effective ad on Facebook looks like in both of these. There's some important components that need to be considered when creating an effective Facebook ad in either of these placements, and there's a bullet point list here. We won't spend time looking at this bullet point list. Let's actually take a look at a real ad, what that looks like in real life with these important components in play. So here's an ad for a bridal store. You can see it's using a testimonial as the ad copy. This is especially important if you're reaching people with your ads that have never heard of your business before, because what other people say about your business is taken so differently than what you say about your business. You can actually see there's some emoji used in this ad too, because using emoji helps the ad to feel a little bit more natural in the platform, right? Because people put normal posts on Facebook using emoji, and this really gives it a feel that's a little bit softer, a little bit more, like like organic posts on the platform. You can see here that the image is matching the message of what's being offered. This is a bridal store. They're offering the opportunity to find your perfect dress, and look at the beauty of this image. And it's even black and white, right? It's not even in color, but you can see the bridal consultant with the bride who's in the store trying the dress on. That image matches what's being offered for a bridal appointment. Good, strong headline. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. Find your perfect dress. That's what brides are looking for in this context. It's a great example of a short and sweet headline. And the last little bit here is social proof. And social proof are the likes, the comments, and the shares on the ad. These build up over time, and the more social proof your ad can gain, the more credible it looks to other people who see the ad. So let's look at a different example of an ad for a wedding venue. We won't belabor it too much, but you can see here they have emoji and a testimonial for the copy. What a great striking image with those red doors that really stands out. I'm sure when people are scrolling through their newsfeed, they can see, well, like those red doors pop out really quickly. A good, strong headline. This venue is offering an open house. There's limited space available. How neat is that? What a great headline there. And you can see lots of good social proof with this ad too. So one of the other important placements that Facebook has for ads is in stories, and there is a lot less room for text in a stories ad. But you can see in this example, it's for a bridal salon, and this is an example of a great image that goes in that story. There's a bride in the salon. She's having an appointment. She's having a great time. That image matches the message of what's being offered. Good, strong headline there, and again, a testimonial for text, which is really powerful. The difference with stories is that someone has to swipe up to learn more, and when they swipe up, they'll visit a page on your website, whichever page you've connected the ad to, and that is a very, very powerful way to use a stories ad to get people to your website as well. So here's the key takeaway. Newsfeed and stories placements are the most important variations of your ad to pay attention to. And it's going to be really important to create those ads. Here's your action step. Create your ad using those essential components that we've listed here, and pay very close attention to how that ad looks in the newsfeed and story. And you'll be well on your way to having an effective ad that not only reaches a lot of people and makes Facebook happy, but also makes people who see the ad very excited to click through and visit your website. When setting up ads that are going to show up on Instagram, we're actually using the Facebook ads platform because Facebook owns Instagram. So those ads are created all in the same place. But Instagram ads are very different than Facebook ads. We want to take a look at what makes them different and the important components. So let's dive in. So the important components of an effective Instagram ad you can see here on the screen, but let's take a look at what that looks like in real life. So following along with our example use of a bridal store, we can see here a great ad on Instagram. The image is so important. It matches the message of what's being offered. You can see here and put the connection together that this picture tells the story of a bride who's trying on a dress and having an amazing experience with a bridal consultant there in the store, right? The picture tells the story, and that's so important with Instagram because it's so visual. And the only other components of an Instagram ad are a call to action button, which you're required to have. And I highly recommend using the Learn More button, because the other options like sign up or buy now or whatever, they're a little bit too forward, right? We want people to click through to your website and learn more about what you're offering them. So that's a recommended call to action button that's required. And you can see there's an emoji here in the text, as well as a short, quick testimonial about the bridal store. Short and sweet, so much different and so many fewer components than a Facebook ad, but also very powerful and effective. Let's take a look at another example of that bridal store. Of course, Instagram ads can be done for any wedding business. We're just using a bridal store as an example in these segments. But so let's take a look. So this bridal store is marketing an event, and you can see that folks are having a good time at the event. It's got a good strong call to action button that's required to be there, but the testimonial and the text is about the event. It says, the event was awesome. I got a great deal on the perfect dress. It leaves a little bit to be desired here, a little bit of, not desired, a little bit for the person seeing that to be curious about it so they can learn more about what event is awesome, what's coming up. They can click through on the Learn More button, go to your website and learn all about the event. But you can see here the importance of the message match and the important, powerful work that the image of an Instagram ad does. There's also stories ads within the Instagram platform, of course, and these look just like stories ads on Facebook. We've got a space for an image that is very important. And again, not to belabor it, but that image has to do the work of communicating what you're offering. And in this case, an appointment at a bridal store, a good strong headline, and a testimonial for text in the stories ad, and a learn more button that folks can swipe up and visit your website and learn more about what it is you're offering them. So the key takeaway when it comes to Instagram ads is how important imagery is. It matters the most. The image has to do the work to tell the story of what you are offering them. Don't put just a pretty picture of a bride and groom. If you're promoting a wedding venue open house, put a picture of the open house and people having fun at the open house and tasting items on your menu or tasting cake. Make sure that that image matches the message of what you're offering and isn't just a pretty bridal image, because people who are engaged and who are getting these ads on Facebook and Instagram are swiping through tons of pretty bridal images all day long. But make sure the image matches what you're offering to really nail down and communicate what it is you want them to do and want them to experience when they click through to your website. The action step here is take the time to edit your ad for the Instagram placements and make sure that that image matches the message. One of the most commonly overlooked things in a great ad campaign is the landing page. It's an essential piece of making any ad campaign work. No matter where your ads are running, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or somewhere else, the landing page is the place where people take action and convert and become a lead. So it's so important that we talk about landing pages here in this course. And let's talk about what a landing page is to kick things off. By definition, a landing page is any page on your website where someone lands when they click on your ad or visit your website from an external place. There can be dedicated landing pages for events or dedicated landing pages to schedule a tour or schedule an appointment. But by definition, the simplest definition is it's any page on your website that someone hits after they click on your ad. So I want to share with you or walk through sort of an experience that could happen in a positive way or a negative way. And let's take a look at that. So let's say that you're advertising to an audience of potential couples, and you have an ad that is promoting a tour of your wedding venue. And they click on the ad and they go to your homepage. And on your homepage, there isn't any information about touring your venue. You promised them information about booking a tour, but you brought them to your homepage. They didn't find what they were looking for, and they're likely to actually leave your website and not convert. But let's rethink that. Let's say your potential couples is your audience, and you have an ad to talk about booking a tour of your venue, and you actually bring them to a landing page all about the benefits of booking a tour, all that they're going to experience on that tour, and get to learn about your venue. That is exactly what you told them was going to happen in the ad. And when they clicked on it, they expected to learn about the tour. And that is the landing page that is going to convert and support your ad campaign to get you the most leads at the lowest cost. In a different scenario, we can use an audience of newly engaged women and say you are a bridal store promoting a trunk show. You have trunk show ads. And if you if you connect your homepage to those ads and people click on a trunk show ad all about this great trunk show and get to your homepage and there's not a lot of information about the trunk show on it, they're going to leave and they're going to go somewhere else, right? But reinventing that and having good message match between your ads and your landing page, if your ads are about the trunk show and they land on a page with all the details about what's going to happen at that trunk show, all the dresses that they can try on, maybe there's going to be discounts, maybe there's going to be champagne, a lot of fun, that is where your landing page is going to convert those people who clicked on your ads into RSVPs for the trunk show. So hopefully that all makes sense. And the key takeaway about landing pages is an ad campaign is only as good as a landing page that follows after clicks on the ad. It's so important. And the action step here is to link your ads that you create to the most relevant landing page on your website about what you're offering them or what you're telling them about in the ads. If you don't have a relevant landing page on your website just yet, stop your ad campaign creation and create a landing page that matches the message of what you're offering them. It's far too common that we see new clients and advertisers come to my agency having run Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns in the past, but not having set up tracking to measure the results. And so when I ask them, do they know what they've gotten from the campaigns, they have a feeling of, oh, I think it's working or I think it's not working, but they don't have any hard evidence, objective number-based evidence on what's working and not working. So the takeaway and what we want to talk about in this segment is the importance of setting up tracking and measuring the results from your ad campaigns. And the tool that's used to measure the results and track all the visitors to your website and what they're doing is called the Facebook Pixel. The Facebook Pixel is a piece of code that's placed on your website, and you can create little other snippets of code that track things on your website like booking appointments or RSVPing for an event. Anything that is a lead or any important action on your website, you can use the Facebook Pixel to track. But there's some sad news that not everything can be tracked, but this is okay. It's a little bit of bad news, but here's why some things can't be tracked. The bad news, but we'll get to the good news in a second. So sometimes people may click on an ad on Facebook on their mobile device and visit your website and put their mobile device down and go switch over to their laptop or their desktop and go and look at the images of your venue or your store, or look at your website on a computer that's large so they can see those images. And when they cross devices, sometimes that tracking is lost and you can't track and know exactly what that person has done because they originally clicked on the ad on their mobile device. Or sometimes cross-channel activity exists, like maybe someone finds you on Google, goes to your website and then finds you on Facebook, goes to your website and then goes back to Google to find you and becomes a lead from clicking on a Google ad. And there's been kind of a mess in there of all the journey they've taken. And sometimes that gets a little bit messy and can't be tracked. Also, there's privacy setting issues, and some third-party appointment booking applications kind of struggle with this, like Bridal Live and Acuity and some of those other third-party booking applications, which are really great for scheduling and getting folks to book an appointment, but sometimes they don't do so well with sending the data back to Facebook ads to prove that certain ad or certain campaign created that lead. It's okay though, because what we can focus on is that when conversions and leads are tracked, it's very powerful. So here's an example of a client, their wedding venue, and they were doing a test campaign. One of the their first campaign targeted engaged men and women, and their second campaign just targeted newly engaged women. And we can see when we measure and set up tracking with the Facebook Pixel to measure how many appointment requests were booked on their website, we can see that there were more appointments booked from the newly engaged women campaign, and we were able to identify that actually their cost per appointment request was lower from newly engaged women versus their campaign that targeted their campaign that targeted all engaged men and women. So this is powerful data that enables them to take action and focus on the lowest cost per appointment request and turn off that campaign, or maybe make changes or test new things in that campaign that isn't producing the same amount of low cost leads. Here's another quick example. Another reason to set up tracking is that you can get down and very granular and you can track which of your ads are performing better than the others. And in this case, we can see that one ad produced 8 leads and another ad produced 9 leads for wedding requests for this particular venue. And that's great because it's a really similar number. One did 8, one did 9. But if we look at the amount that was spent and the cost per lead on each of these 2 ads, we can clearly see that ad number 1 was the winner, and that produced the most leads at the lowest cost. And this is why setting up tracking with the Facebook pixel and measuring results is so, so, so important. The key takeaway is to never start an ad campaign without tracking in place, because it doesn't make any sense to spend your valuable marketing dollars and not know objectively exactly what you're getting from your ad campaigns. So your action step here is to set up the Facebook pixel on your website and those conversion events before you start an ad campaign.